boom, 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 boom. That's how it works out. You sweat.
He used to break the man.
Yeah.
He used to knock him down.
Heavy puncher.
The heaviest?
Yeah.
His strength was his everything.
Yeah.
And like this, and so, and so he pulling the big old truck on his shoulders and all this and stuff like that.
Reached out and called him several times just to talk. Good guy. George is a great man.
Boxers have long spoken with great respect about the late George Foreman, remembering his incredible power and lasting impact on the sport. Legends like Mike Tyson have praised Foreman, calling him the hardest puncher ever. Tyson even said Foreman's strength was so extraordinary that he could break heavy bags while training. His punches had a destructive force that made opponents fearful to step into the ring with him. Even in his later years, Foreman knocked out top contenders, solidifying his legacy as one of boxing's most dominant and feared champions.
Floyd Mayweather used to just stand in front of the back, right? Just like that 40 minutes. Throw a couple hooks.
George Foreman too. It's hit the bell. Boom, 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 boom. That's how it works out. You sweat.
He used to break the man.
Yeah.
He used to knock him down.
Heavy puncher.
The heaviest?
Yeah.
I thought that was you.
I can't match somebody's powers who's that big and that much mass. The only thing that allowed me to be excited because I do it faster than other guys.
More explosive. How did you explode like that? Was that natural?
No, nothing's natural. Nothing about me natural. Only my desire to win was natural. I had a great teacher.
Did he instill that desire in you, your coach?
No, only you can do that.
Yeah.
You're born with it and somebody can elicit it out of you.
Muhammad Ali also admired George Foreman for his unwavering determination and confidence inside the ring. Ali recognized that Foreman never backed down and fought with relentless power until the very end. Even though Foreman lost to Ali in their iconic Rumble in the Jungle fight, he gave it his all, proving his strength, heart, and warrior spirit.
Just before the fight, I'm looking at him. I said, "Sucker, you are in trouble tonight. You are fighting the greatest fight of all times. You heard I was the greatest, like you just said you heard this, now you see it. I said, you said I was the greatest, but you're gonna see. I'm fast, sucker. I'm gonna burn you up. You are fighting your idol." I talked through the whole fight. I said, "Come on, sucker." I said, "Show me something. They told me you could hit hard. You're just a sissy. Come on, sucker. Show me something." Oh, I grabbed his head sometimes and I said, "Look at you. Round 7. And you're tired. You have 8 more rounds to go." And he's just throwing them. He's breathing. I said, oh, you finished, boy. You are in trouble. I said, "You don't have but 2 chances, slim and none."
In 1973, George Foreman faced Joe Frazier in a fight that would go down in history. Frazier, the reigning heavyweight champion, was known for his non-stop fighting style and had even defeated Muhammad Ali. However, Foreman showed unmatched dominance in this bout, knocking Frazier down 6 times in just 2 rounds, leading to a technical knockout. With that, he claimed both the WBA and WBC heavyweight titles. This overwhelming performance shocked the boxing world, as few had expected such a one-sided result.
Were you ever scared of anybody in the ring? Now be honest. Ali? I mean,
it's strange. I wasn't afraid of Muhammad. I lost the title to Muhammad, but I remember Joe Frazier. He was the toughest guy I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
Smoking Joe Frazier. My mother watched him fight on television, and he hit a guy so hard the guy turned his back. And I kept thinking, I want to be champ of the world, but I sure hope Joe Frazier died. It was time to fight Joe Frazier, and I knew if you hit him, he liked it. If you miss him, he'd get upset. And I'm thinking, what am I going to do? But I had this habit of staring guys down. I look them in the eye to psych them out. If they dropped their head, I knew I had an advantage, but I was hoping Joe Frazier wouldn't drop his head because my knees were shaking. At that time, I wish I had even started that.
After a 10-year break from boxing, George Foreman made a surprising return to the ring in the late 1980s and early 1990s. Many people doubted he could still compete at a high level due to his age and time away from the sport. However, in 1994, at the age of 45, Foreman proved the critics wrong by defeating the undefeated Michael Moore to win the heavyweight title once again. This remarkable feat made him the oldest heavyweight champion in boxing history, a record that still stands today. Foreman's comeback is often seen as one of the most inspiring stories in sports, showing how determination and resilience can overcome the challenges of time.
Been throughout the years, if any, or would you like to share a little bit about that?
Well, George and I have always spoken to each other cordially. I've reached out and called him several times just to talk. Good guy. George is a great man.
Evander Holyfield, a former heavyweight champion, has spoken about the tough challenge George Foreman posed in the ring. Holyfield called Foreman the hardest puncher he had ever faced, highlighting Foreman's amazing strength and unique training methods, which included pulling trucks to build power and endurance. Holyfield also shared how physically demanding their fight was, even losing some teeth during the bout, emphasizing the power Foreman brought into the ring and the respect he earned from other fighters.
To like a world apart going into this fight.
Well, George Foreman always promoted his strength. His strength was his everything.
Yeah.
And like this, and so, he pulling the big old truck on his shoulders and all this and stuff like that. And so, I had people talking about, well, he did this, he did that. I said, look, hey, boxing is not all about strength. I said, no. I said, he got to try to hit me. I said, he's slow as Christmas. I said, he's slow as Christmas. I said, he's not fast. I said, so he throw these big shots. But the difference is that he got good timing. And so that's what I realized, because I pulled back, and by the time I pulled back from the shot ain't got done yet. Bam! I bring my head back because that's how slow he is. His timing, but he got right time. He know that you gonna come back at the right time when because he's supposed to be gonna miss me, and I come back.
Bam.
When I come back, it's coming.
Yeah.
Right? So I realized, okay, then I got to dance around him a little bit and pack him like this. And so the whole big thing about boxing is making the guy come forth while you punching at the same time. That's how you can maximize your power on him. And I was able to do it sometime, but he was a good disciplined fighter. He didn't lose all this energy on me. He was able to push it off with the big arms and maul me. He kind of mauled me in the corner a lot. I couldn't even get out. He was so much stronger.
Teddy Atlas, a well-known boxing trainer and commentator, has frequently praised George Foreman, considering him one of the greatest figures in boxing history. Atlas highlighted Foreman's incredible power and his unique personality, both inside and outside the ring. He also admired Foreman's ability to reinvent himself, transitioning from a feared boxer to a beloved public figure, showcasing his versatility and lasting appeal. Atlas's praise reflects the lasting impact Foreman had on the sport and his special place in boxing history.
And redemption is a powerful word. It's a scary word, it's a powerful word. I know it firsthand. It's very powerful. Very powerful. And he had redemption on his side. George Foreman was a special man. Michael Moore was a special man. George Foreman got put into retirement by Muhammad Ali, really Jimmy Young, but Ali did it. And Ali broke down the monster that night in Zaire. He exposed the monster. He broke down this Herculean fighter that could knock down, walls. And he broke him down. And he made him live with that. He retired. He had one more fight. He got beat by Jimmy Young. Then he retired for 10 years. And he went into the church. He went into, God's work. And during those 10 years, he suffered privately. I know he did. He suffered privately what happened in Zaire. Because in some ways, maybe similar to Tyson, but I think he was stronger than Tyson in other ways. ultimately, but very similar, and similar backgrounds where they came from.
Boxing journalist Gareth A. Davies has recognized George Foreman's extraordinary achievements and his legendary status in the sport. Davies made an interesting comparison, saying that Foreman combined the explosive power of Deontay Wilder and the ferocity of Mike Tyson, capturing the strengths of both fighters. This comparison emphasizes Foreman's unique combination of raw power and aggressive fighting style, which made him a standout figure in boxing.
When I was covering the Rumble in the Jungle in the 70s, 74, 75, when he fought in Jamaica and he fought in Venezuela, in Caracas, when he fought in Zaire, Kinshasa, when he fought Norton, when he fought Frazier, and he just absolutely eviscerated them. You've got to remember what this guy achieved as a boxer, first of all. Won the Olympic, like you said, rightly said, in America, he's one of their greatest athletes. Won the Olympic gold for them in Mexico in 1968. As a real neophyte boxer, rather like Anthony Joshua did in London, where he hadn't had much of a career. You think after that, he turns pro, he beats Foreman, he beats Frazier, he beats Norton, and then he gets beaten by Ali. He's like Deontay Wilder and Mike Tyson rolled into one at the time. He's just destroying everyone. He's one of the biggest punchers of all time. I have interviewed him. I don't know how many times I interviewed him. Many, many, many times. And always through Bill Kaplan, his PR guy, who was his PR guy from the age of him being 18. And Bill's in his late 80s and still PRing him to this day, this very day. It's a really sad thing because, like you say, what I wrote earlier on was that he filled up a room, big booming laugh, but not trying to command attention.
Joe Rogan, a commentator and podcast host, has often spoken about George Foreman's long and successful career in boxing. Foreman ended his career with a professional record of 76 wins, 68 of them by knockout, and only 5 losses. Rogan described Foreman as a beast, highlighting his dominance and the fear he instilled in his opponents. This description reflects Foreman's reputation as one of the most powerful and successful heavyweights in boxing history. Joe Rogan has also discussed the importance of George Foreman's victory over Joe Frazier. Frazier, who had previously defeated Muhammad Ali, was one of the top heavyweights of his time. Foreman's ability to not just beat Frazier, but to knock him out in such a dominant way elevated Foreman's status in the boxing world and showcased his incredible power and skill.